We're going to show you how to play the Dunwich Horror minigame or perform the Dunwich Horror rite from the game Rites of Cthulhu from Quirky Engine Entertainment. The Dunwich Horror rite is based on the story The Dunwich Horror, written by H.P. Lovecraft, and we encourage you to read this story. Okay, so we're going to use the turn order card, which is included in the game, to go through this rite with you. The first step, the Grand Cultist, that'll be me, deals 5 cards to each player. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Second, after considering his or her hand, the Grand Cultist selects the rite. In this case, I'm just going to select the Dunwich Horror. Then, number 3, the Grand Cultist reveals the coveted artifact, or the top card from the 13 artifacts card deck. We're playing for the bas-relief sculpture, which is worth 2 points. Then the Grand Cultist invokes the coveted artifact's power. And the power for the coveted artifact is right here. And you just read that power and do what it says. But we're not going to do that because we just want to explain how to play this rite. Put the coveted artifact card on the top of the rites tablet for convenience of play. Also, if you have any questions about any of the rites that you need to perform or mini games that are contained within the game, you can always flip over the rites tablet, and there's an explanation of the rules on the rites tablets. If you have further questions that are not covered on the rites tablet, you can go to the rule book, which has exhaustive explanations of how everything works. Okay, so we're going to take this and put it aside and clear the surface a little bit because it's now time to perform the rite. Clear the play surface a little bit. What you need to do is go through the deck and find 2 cards. Oh, let's see, I might have them. Or if cultists have them in their hands, they need to turn them in and trade them in for new cards. The 2 cards we're looking for are the 6 and 7 of blue, which is the Crassus cult. There's the 7. And somewhere, there's the 6. Okay, these are the 2 brothers from the Dunwich Horror story. So we're going to lay those 2 brothers on the table. Then we have to build farmhouses around these 2 brothers. They're twin brothers. So in order to build the farmhouses, you deal 4 cards, like so, around each of the brothers. Make sure you leave room in the middle for a draw pile. Put the rest of the cards in the draw pile. Now, I'll go first. The object of the game is to capture as many of these farm wall cards as you can, and each of the farm wall cards is worth its elder sign, or the number that's located in the upper left and lower right-hand corners of the card. Suits or colors or cults in this game don't matter. It's all about numbers. In order to reveal a wall card during your turn, you have to play 2 cards in a discard pile. The 2 cards have to equal in sum or in difference either the 6, which is the Dunwich Horror, or the 7, which is Wilbur Whately. And if they equal or the difference equals, okay, so what you're doing is you're either adding the 2 cards together to equal 6 or 7, or you're subtracting 1 card from the other in order to get 6 or 7. If you can do that with 2 of your cards, you get to turn over 1 of the wall cards. So let me see if I can do that. Okay, so I have a 5 and a 2, okay? So a 5 plus a 2 is 7. So without drawing my hand back up to 5 cards, you don't do that until the end of your hand, I've made a sum of 7, so I can turn over 1 of these wall cards. Now, I go back to my cards, and if I can do it again with a sum or a difference that equals the number that's on the wall card, I get to keep the card and get the points that are on the card, and I'm playing for a 12 card here, so it's a really good one. So I have a 9 and a 3. So a 9 plus a 3 equals 12. So I get to take that card. That's for scoring at the end of this game. Now that my turn is done, I draw back up to 5 cards. Now, if you can't get a sum or a difference of 6 or 7, you can skip your turn and discard up to 2 cards from your hand and then redraw up to 2 cards from the draw deck. Or you can just skip your turn if you think you want to hang on to what you have. So now it's his turn. All right, so he's got a 5 and a 2, which equals 7. He flips that over. It's a 9. Okay, so he knocked. What that means is he doesn't have a card pair that will give him a difference or a sum of 9. If the cultist whose turn it is knocks, then all of the other cultists, it's a free-for-all to try to get that card. So as soon as that cultist knocks, the first cultist to knock on the table and produce a card pair with the sum or difference of that number gets that card. So let me check. I didn't have time to check. It's a 9. Okay, I got it. So 13 minus 4 is 9. So I was the first cultist who knocked. There's only 2 of us in this game. This game, by the way, works great as a 2-player game. So I get this card. Then I draw back up to 5 cards, and it's my turn again. Okay, so I'm going to play a 9 minus 3 for 6. So I'm going to flip this card over. It's a 6. I don't have anything that can give me that 6. So if any of the other cultists can do it, they knock. Okay, he can do it.
No, I can't.
Oh, he can't. Okay, so what he did is he discarded 2 cards. One card. He discarded 1 card for his turn and drew another card. And at the end of my turn, I forgot to draw back up to 5 cards, which I'm at now. Okay, so we have a card that's face up on the table. So rather than making a sum or a difference to turn over a new wall card for your turn, you can just go for that card if you have it. And I do. So a 10 minus 4 is 6. And then I draw back up to 5. His turn. All right, 8 minus 1 is a 7, so I'm flipping this one over, looking for a 12. Can't do it. He knocked first, so now he can produce the 2 cards. 11 plus 1, he takes the 12. We all draw back up to 5 cards. If you deplete the draw pile to 0 cards, just pick up the discard pile, reshuffle, and keep playing, because you got to play until all the wall cards are gone. His turn. He discards and takes 2. I have a 7 and a 0. So 7 plus or minus 0 equals 7. So I can flip this card over. It's an 11. He knocks first. So a 13 minus 2 equals 11. So he gets that card. And we just draw back up to 5 cards. It's his turn now, because I'm the one that turned that one over.
6 and a 0.
6 and a 0. Okay, so I knocked for a 12 minus 8 is a 4, so I get to keep this card. We draw back up to 5. It's my turn. 10 minus 4 is 6. Flipping this one for a 10. All right, so he knocks first. 9 plus 1 is 10. So he takes that card, we draw back up to 5, and it's his turn.
12, 5.
Oh, wait, there's nothing there. Yeah, those are. He's already free.
Okay, so I
can't. Okay, so I've got a 5 plus 1 equals 6. So I flip over the last one. Now, we don't ever play for these. The idea of the game is to just free the 2 brothers, so we're only playing for the walls. Can't do it. Can't make a 7. Okay, so we have a 12 and a 5, so... Okay, there we go. That's the end of the game now that the 2 brothers are free. At this point, we tally up how many points we've won. I have 31 points.
1, 2, 3, 3, 40 points.
Okay, so 40 points. So he wins the Dunwich Horror Rite and gets the coveted artifact, which is worth 2 points at the end of the game. And that is how to play the Dunwich Horror.